Hey everybody! Welcome to another Rubber Duck Thursdays. Hey. Hey Adam. Hey Mohammed. Hey. Welcome to the stream. Thank y'all so much for joining me today. I'm looking over here because I have my StreamYard stuff over here, but let me stop the music. And let's get into the things for today. So, how are you doing? First of all, how are we doing today? Hey. Thank y'all for joining again this week. I feel like the week came so quickly. Like I feel like I was here like 2 days ago doing the stream with y'all last week. I could turn on some more moody music in the background, but I feel like I was just here. Do you feel the same way? Or am I just like doing stuff? Let me know in the comments. So where are you joining from? How are you doing? What are you working on? So today we're going to keep working on the Quibbit app. Yes. Okay, good. I'm happy I'm not the only one. I feel like I was just here and here we are again. But we're going to get into it. So the first thing I wanted to share with you, let me just share my screen here. So the first thing I wanted to share with you today was GitHub's For the Love of Code. So For the Love of Code is essentially where you get to build your crazy, wacky ideas and submit it to win stuff. To win stuff. So, like coding is for more than just, building enterprise grade application and production apps, right? Sometimes we can have fun with code, like a silly or a serious side project. If you want, you can submit. So essentially it's going to run from July 16th to September 22nd. So it started yesterday and it goes through September 22. And what could you win? You could win internet immortality. So the top entries will be featured on the GitHub blog, the official GitHub blog. So you get like that cred. You get 12 months of GitHub Copilot Pro Plus for winners in each category. Okay. You get glory vibes and an excellent excuse to finally build that thing, right? So how many of you have domain names just sitting and not being used? I have so many domains that's just sitting and not being used. So like if you have a domain that's just sitting, you could enter GitHub for the love of code and, build your stuff. So what are the categories? So the first category is button beeps and blinking lights. Okay. If it lights, makes noise, or looks like it escaped from a 1998 Radio Shack, it belongs here. Okie doke. So some examples are like a traffic light that displays your build status. Okay, that sounds fun. A soldiered together sidekick that yells LGTM every time your test pass. That actually sounds pretty decent. So that's just some examples for those categories. How many winners? So it's going to be one winner per category from what I'm seeing here. For winners in each category. So I believe there are 4 categories. So you have 4 chances of winning, right? The second category, agents of change. So this is, of course, AI-powered experiences, agents, or old-fashioned bots that help hinder or hilariously misunderstand you. Some examples of this is a LLM-powered changelog writer. That would be super useful, but it widely dramatizes every update. Okay. Agent that reviews PRs like a sarcastic senior developer. Great ideas. The third category is terminal talent. So anything that works in your terminal. So a command line karaoke machine, a GitHub CLI extension, an interactive tool to automate that one thing you've been needing to automate for years. This is the one for me. That's the one for me. Category 4, game on. So you can code a game, like a fun little game. You remember when people were building earlier this year, people were building video games using vibe coding. So that would fit into this category. So a retro style arcade game, an adventure game, AI generated plot twist, NPCs or side quests. Category 5. Wow, there are 6 categories. Okay. Worldwide wonders. So a web app that takes GitHub username and roasts them, right? So a roasting app, a nostalgic 90s style site that loads up a dial-up stuff. Category 6 is everything but the kitchen sink, so everything else that doesn't fit into those categories. A Git hook that plays sitcom, a VS Code extension, action. Your amazing idea goes here. So like essentially whatever you want to build, you can enter the love of code. GitHub's love of code. And if you don't know what to build, you can ask GitHub Copilot. So I did earlier ask GitHub Copilot what are some fun projects folks could build to enter this. So yeah, you can just pop in and say, hey, GitHub is doing this competition. What are some fun projects I could build? I did pop in the blog post just to give additional context. And it came up with some pretty cool ideas. I'm just going to scroll slowly so you can see. ASCII art daily weather. Right? And then you have game on. Cool. These are pretty cool ideas. Code confessional. A code confessional actions. That sounds pretty good. Voice is echoing. Really? Why is my voice echoing? I don't know. Is my voice echoing for anyone else, or is it just harsh? Let me know so I can see what's up. Let's see. Sure. And I'm using my Sony headphones. No echo on YouTube. Okay. So I'm not sure why it's echoing harsh. Sorry about that. Okay, cool. So that's for the love of code. Who can participate? Students, maintainers, weekend tinkerers, creative coders, seasoned pros, curious beginners, solo or squad. So it can be a team or it could be solo. I saw someone ask if it's a team or if it's solo. It could be a team or it could be independent. Okay. So where is that? It could be a team or it could be independent. So it's up to you. Essentially, you can build whatever you want. And, it will fit into one of the 6 categories. So you need to push your code by 11:59 p.m. on September 22nd, 2025, and it's not restricted to any time zones or any areas on on planet Earth. I don't know why I want to say planet Earth, but there we go. And then you can submit your entries via this submission form. Looks like it's just going to be a Google form, which is great. So that's how you're going to submit your submissions. Stream starting soon. Welcome. Stream has started. Let me remove that. Great. And there you go, right? And of course, you can post about it on LinkedIn or Twitter or wherever you post on social and tag hashtag for the love of code, right? Here are the rules. Not too many rules. You can submit up to 42 projects. Wow. So you have plenty of chances to win, okay? Use open source is encouraged. Use of GitHub Copilot is encouraged, but optional, so you don't have to. Your project must be in a public repository with a clear README. And GitHub Copilot is excellent at writing README, so there's no excuse to have an empty README in your project. And there you go, right? It's going to be judged, and winners will be chosen by October 22nd. So go forth and build. You have until September 22nd to do so. So that's like about 2 months, right? So that's for the love of code. Is the love of code suitable for beginners? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's for anyone and everyone who wants to build a project and win some street cred, essentially. And of course, win a year of GitHub Copilot Pro Plus, which is actually pretty cool. Any more questions about this? No. No. Awesome. So let's see what GitHub's been up to. What time is it? 1:13. Wow, time is going. Let's take a look at the changelog to see what we've shipped. Release. GitHub Actions now offers M2 Pro powered hosted runners in public preview. That's pretty cool. Duplicate issues, create from anywhere, and more. Wow. That's pretty, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool as well. I love that. So if you go through our changelog, you'll see a whole bunch of different things that has been released recently. But let's actually get into today's project. So okay, what do we build? So Mohammed, you can build, let me go back to the for the love of code. So you can build whatever you want. And if you don't know what to build, you can ask Copilot what to build. So I just came in here and I clicked on Copilot. That's going to be at the top of the GitHub UI. And I just asked it, what are some fun projects I can build that falls into these 4 categories? And it gave me some pretty good ideas. If you also have any domain or any ideas that you've been tinkering with that you want to build and make publicly available, you can also use this as an opportunity to build that. How complex or how fun-loving should the project be? That's up to you, actually. That's up to you. So if you want it to be like a super fun project, go forth and build. If you want it to be a super serious project that you're going to have users for and make a bunch of money with, go forth and build as well. Actually just applied for Copilot software today. Met you at Render ATL. Glad to see you live. Hey, Greg. Happy that you applied for some stuff. And yeah, thank you so much for joining today. It's nice to see you. Hopefully you enjoyed today's stream. Okay, great. So those are all the questions. So let's get into today's project. So if you were here last week, or if this is your first time joining, I am building an app called Quibbit. And essentially, so I always save my, okay, let's start from the beginning. So you know how you find links on the internet and like, you're like, oh, I'm going to read it later. So you add a bookmark on the web, on your browser. But if you're on your phone, how do you save those links? Tell me how you save your links in the comments. So like what I do is I usually just send a text message to myself and then I can find the link later. So I decided to build an app to help me to save my links, right? And so I call it Quibbit, or like a Quibbit. And Quibbit allows me to save all my articles, my links, and whatever else, my notes. I'm also implementing a voice recording feature with transcription so I can, use AI to make sense of the things I'm thinking about. But that's gonna come later. But that's Quibbit. So essentially it allows me to save and categorize my links, articles, videos, blog posts, whatever across the web. So that's what we've been building. It's a React Native with Expo app. So it's compatible across iOS and Android because I'm an Android girly and I always hate when people launch apps and it's just for iOS. For me, I'm like, you did not have to make that choice. You can use React Native or you can use Flutter to make it cross-platform very quickly, very seamlessly. So it is cross-platform, and that's what we've been working on last week. So last week, I worked on some bug fixes. I just opened a repo and I called it bug fixes because that's what it was. And what did I do? There was some search functionality enhancements. I updated the UI styling. I did some code refactoring. And I did this all, with GitHub Copilot agent mode. And I believe I was using Claude Sonnet 4 to do that. And so today I'm going to keep working on that. I did the PR an hour ago because I realized I didn't save my changes, which don't do, because a few weeks ago I was working on a project. And I got so far, like it's actually something I want to launch and share with people. And I saved all my changes. I used Git to do everything. I went back to my code and the folder disappeared. The folder completely disappeared. I don't know where it went. And I didn't push my branch yet. So all that work is gone. This happened last week and I still haven't restarted the project yet. I probably need to because I would love to launch it. But my heart hurts so much because I'm like, where did my work go? Where did the folder go? VS Code was like, I don't see your project. And I went into Finder and Finder is like, girl, it's not here. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, what happened? What happened to my repository? I don't know. Do you know what happened? If you know what happened, let me know. Because my heart still hurts. Anyway, in regards to today, this is what we're doing. So this is a task I assigned to GitHub Copilot coding agent. So essentially, I open an issue and I say, hey, Copilot, I want to implement voice recording functionality in the app, and it was able to get started on that work. There is a bug in it that I can't seem to figure out, so I think I'm gonna have to start over because I spent so much time on it after our stream last week trying to debug it, but I feel like the best thing to do is to start over, and instead of giving it 3 different things to do, I'm just gonna give it 1 thing at a time to do to get that done. Let's see. Wait, you're an Android user? LOL, I quit. Yes, I'm an Android user. And actually, a couple years ago, I did quit Android and went to the iPhone. But I quickly, after a year, quit the iPhone and went back to Android because I don't understand the one button. It's just like, actually, it's no buttons on the new phones. I don't understand it. I need my buttons, and sometimes it's even hard to copy stuff on an iPhone. Anyway, this is not an iPhone bashing session, so let me stop. But yes, I'm an Android girly. You maybe accidentally dragged the folder to another folder. I don't think so, Rex, because I did a deep search on the system in my terminal, and it's not there. It's gone. Anyway, let's go to the codes. Before I get sad again, even though I'm already sad. So I do have the app already running. So for those of you who are new, let me just show you Quibbit real quick. And I am using a smaller monitor today, so you should be able to see everything. Clearly. Okay, so this is Quibbit. Welcome to Quibbit. So this is like the onboarding. You can see your categories and start using Quibbit. And so here you can see it's a very simple app that I'm just using to save all my notes. And even though it's a simple app, apparently people pay for this stuff. There's an app that's earning like so much money that helps people to save their links. I also have a notes section, so like I can write longer form notes without links. There's a card view and then there's a list view. right? I can click on it to edit, to make an update to it. In the settings, I just have manage categories for right now. There aren't there isn't like any much settings here, and then I can log out. And that's Quibbit, the recording session. This is what Copilot Coding Agent is working on. And that's Quibbit, right? You can sort, you can filter by oldest, newest, title. You can see all, you can see apps, clear the filters. It's pretty good, right? You can add new links here, title URL, notes. You can choose the category, all that jazz, and then it saves it. And I'm using Supabase as the backend. And I'm also using async storage for local persistence because I also want this app to work offline, right? So that's Quibbit. Any questions? Would you use this? I feel like I can't wait to use it. And so, yeah. So what are you using to view the device? To view the app here, I'm using the iOS simulator here. So I'm using the iOS simulator to view this here. And then I can choose it in VS Code. It like automatically chooses it to run the app. Are you always live every Thursday? Yes. So every Thursday we have Rubber Duck Thursday. We actually have the stream 3 times a day. So one is at I think it's like 4 a.m. Central, and that's for our folks in the UK. And then we have one at 1 p.m. Central, and then there's also one earlier in the day or later in the day for our Portuguese speaking folks. We also have a Spanish one too. So on Thursdays we just go live and we build stuff. Come join us at Local Connect AI. Where is that? Where's Local Connect AI? I know I know Supabase is more than just a DB platform. Can you explain how you're using it as your backend? Yes. So currently I'm using Supabase for authentication and for my database. Um, so those are the two things I'm using it for. And Auth was pretty seamless to set up. Let's take a look at their documentation. I'm not gonna pull up my backend, guys. I'm not gonna do it. I know better. um, so let's see. So there's a database, there's authentication. Let me zoom in so you can see. There we go. So there's database, there's authentication. You can use it for storage. And I may use it for storage, to store the voice recordings. There's edge functions, real time. I am using the real time feature as well. There's a vector database for embeddings, queues, crows. There you can do so many things on Supabase. It's incredible. And it has a pretty generous free tier that you can go forth and build with. And yeah, that's Supabase. Definitely check it out. Okay, so let's do some code. Let's do some coding with Copilot. So if you notice this design in the background, it's because I asked Claude right before the stream started to help me to redesign this page. So this kind of looks plain Jane to me. And so last week I took like a design from Canva and I popped it into Copilot, and I was like, I want the vibe of the app to look like this. And it was able to implement the brown that you're seeing here. And I did apply the brown to the other page, the home page, but I wanted it to look even better because I feel like this doesn't look good. Does this look good to you? I don't know. Doesn't look good to me. So I came in and I asked Claude, how do I improve the link previews in this app? And then this is what it gave me. So Claude is actually pretty good at coming up with designs for you. And so like what I can do is I can take a picture of this link preview here that I want to improve. I want to improve how the links are showing up on this page. And I can ask Copilot to build it for me. So let's do that because that's actually one thing I wanted to do. I have a list When did I end up muting? What did you end what was the last thing I said? I don't know. Can you hear me now? I feel like I'm back. I feel like I'm back. If I'm back, let me know. Sorry, joined late. You're using both Copilot and Claude. Yes, so I'm using Copilot agent mode and I'm gonna be using Claude, probably like Claude Sonnet 4 in agent mode to do this update for me. I should be back. Let's see. Okay. Ooh, can you add a theme setting? That way the user can choose the color independently. You see, I'm gonna write that down because I actually like that a lot because I can't even choose my own theme. It would be cool if people could choose their own theme, even though I am building this for myself, but it would be cool if I could change the theme. I'm just gonna write that down real quick. What I really need to do, Shades, is deploy the app because MVP is honestly done. And I'm just procrastinating. When I started looking at my notebook, that's when I muted. Wow, that was a while ago. I said so much, Dekoya. I said so many things. Okay, so let me go. Let me go again. So what I was saying was I use Claude to help me to improve the design of this app. So one of the things or the bugs I noted in my notes is to add better link previews to the link card. So like preview image support and maybe update the favicon here. And so I came into Claude and I said, hey, how can I improve the links preview on this app? The first version Claude gave me, I didn't really like it. I mean, it's fine, but I don't like the blue. It's just so much blue. I wanted it to have the same brown vibe. So I updated the image and I said, love the direction. I want to keep the brown aesthetic. And it was able to enhance it with this brown aesthetic, which I think I really like. And so Claude is actually really, really good at doing designs for you because it has that artifacts feature and I love using it. So I don't know if this is a bit much. Is this a bit much for you? I'm not sure, but let's see if Copilot can update the link cards for us here with just the image. Because I've been doing a lot of talking and let's do some building with Copilot. Let's see. So I'm gonna let me get everything set up here. Ooh, because I also wanted to show you that I updated the Copilot instructions file. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have Copilot start coding and then we're gonna go over the instructions file. So let me start a new one, make sure I'm in agent mode, and then I'm going to choose Claude Sonnet 4. So I have been using Claude Opus 4, which is so good, but it's not available in agent mode. It is available in edit mode. Um, so I'm just gonna stick with Claude Sonnet 4. I love using Claude for coding. What's your favorite agent for coding? I love using Claude, honestly. Okay, so let's take a picture of just this one card section. I'm just gonna take a little screenshot here. Boop, boop, right? So now it has that context, and I'm going to say, can you update? And if you notice, I don't do any, crazy prompting style. I just speak naturally most times when I'm doing stuff. I like to have a lot of stuff in the instructions, and I like to have a lot of stuff in like the README or the initial product requirements to give the agent context as to what I'm building. And then when I'm actually building, I just go forth and just speak. So I want to say, can you update the homepage? And can you see my screen? Hopefully you can. Let me just zoom in a bit more. I'm already at 150, which is a lot. Okay. Can you update the link cards to reflect? I can't type. To attach design, I want to improve the link previews. Um, that's it. So I'm just gonna send this, and here's a screenshot again. I'm sending this as context because Claude, has vision. Boop, send. So while it's working on that, let's take a look at the instructions file, the Copilot instructions file. So remember last week when I was trying to update the instructions file automatically using GitHub Copilot? So how you can do this is click on these settings here, click on instructions, and then hit generate instructions. So if you have a project that's already being built or that you're already working on and you don't have an instructions file, whether it be an instructions file, a prompt file, any type of context file for your LLM, you can automatically generate this using GitHub Copilot. And so I hit generate instructions to get a more detailed instruction file. And this is what it looks like. So you can see we have architecture and data flow, we have key directories and pattern, we have the developer workflow, so start, install, environment setup, reset project. We have how the data in sync, offline first, Supabase schema, voice transcription, UI and accessibility. So this is all really good context for Copilot to have whenever it's generating code. And for unclear patterns or missing details, ask for clarification or review the README, the database migration, or the key hooks. So like this is really good information for your LLM to have or your agent to have whenever it's building for you, because it will allow the agent to build more efficiently and more thoughtfully and just like follow best practices when engineering. And so you can see the app actually changing over here as Copilot is working, but that's the instructions file that I wanted to share you. Many say that's the best way. Yeah, that and they're calling it context engineering right now, where you provide as much context as possible to the LLM. So that includes RAG. Wow, did you see how this updated in real time? So like you can add, like your RAG patterns, you can add your instructions, all sorts of stuff just to give the large language model as much context as possible whenever it's building. Can you share what specific tools or frameworks you're using in agent mode development? Yes. So this is a React Native application with Expo. I'm using Expo to do it. And so as you can see here, it's a React Native with plus Expo app using file-based routing. Supabase is the cloud and database auth provider. Local caching is provided via async storage. Voice notes feature is being implemented in the background by Copilot Coding Agent. I do need to work on that because I need to add the transcription API. I'm not sure which one I'm going to be using it. I need to do some research on that before I implement it. And that's pretty much it. Nothing crazy. And so because I'm using React Native, it's cross-platform across both Android and iOS because I'm an inclusive girly. If you're building mobile apps, just use React Native or Flutter, okay? It's cross-platform. It's very simple, okay? Okay. Doesn't have to be crazy. So that's what we're using. And I'm not using any MCP servers right now in this project. I'm just using agent mode, and I'm using Claude Sonnet 4 as the model. Hopefully that answered your question. Maybe you want to add image animation. You can add the latte image. You mean like to these things here? Let me know what you mean, Rex. Okay, no more questions. Let me know if you have more questions. Let me know if you have more questions. But let's take a look at what we have. So Copilot has finished working. Now let me check if there are any errors. Okay. So updated the features, visual design, thumbnail preview, play button overlay, card layout, content layout, header section, description, meta information, tags. Cool. Let's take a look. See, I'm going to make this bigger so I can see. Okay, so if it doesn't have an image, we need to fix that, right? But I don't know, I don't hate it. Do you hate it? What's this button do? Is it real? Is what real? Wait, is what real? So, I don't know. Do you like this? Let me see. If I hit watch, it's gonna go to okay, so if I hit watch, it goes to the link. Cool. Show notes. So now I don't think I need the show notes stuff because the notes are here. Alrighty. I guess it's fine. You know, I guess it's fine. I guess it's fine. What do you think? The last thing you said was hello, guys. Okay, I don't know if you're talking to me here, but it did that pretty quickly. Let's see what this looks like again. So like Claude had like this brown thing, which is fine. I don't need it to look like this exactly. I think I like the simplicity of here because I did feel like this was a bit too much. So I'm gonna close that. And I think we're gonna ship it. I think we're gonna ship it because I can still search for stuff, right? You see? PIT, yeah. So I think I'm gonna ship it. So let's do a boop. So Peter says it's fine. Do you have instructions to prevent it from hard coding things and to query Superbase when necessary? I don't. Hard coding things like what? You mean like environment variables and stuff? I don't have that. That's not a bad idea. I love this mobile view during development. Yes, it's the iOS simulator app. It's a pretty heavy application on the laptop, but it's pretty slick. It's pretty slick because you know I'm just like scrolling like I would on the phone. Okay, so I think that takes care of like having better links preview. So I'm just going to cross that off my list. Okay, what else do I want? So on the list, I have add swipe action for notes, dark mode support, export feature. Like those all feel like nice to have. Custom category colors not updating. Ooh, let's take a look at that one. So these are, oh, they all have the same color. Okay. So if I hit this, color updated successfully, but it's not. It's a lie. It did not update successfully. Okay. So let's do that part. Let's do that one. Let's see. For the video streams, if there's no thumbnail, you could always use the pic off the account that the video is coming from. Yes. So let me tell you what's happening why that one didn't. So this is a YouTube video. So this is a video. This is a video. Ah, so you're saying like for this one, use the picture off the account that the video is coming from. Ugh, that's gonna be so much work, Shades. Like, I don't even know if that's necessary. I don't even know if that's necessary. But like for this one, so this is a website. So this is just a website. So it's not getting any images from my website. This is like my Lady Dev website. So it's not getting any image from here. So that's why it's empty. And then this one is the Bento website. Let's see. And so the image is coming from here. So it just popped the logo. Why didn't it get the logo for the other one? I don't know. I'll take a look at it later. I'll take a look at it later. What I need to do is ship the app so I can start using it because I'm still saving links as messages to myself and then I can't find it later. But let's feels like it could use rich snippets. Tell me more. Tell me more. Let me not agent. Let me do a ask. What are rich snippets? Peter, tell me more about that. Okay. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Maybe, maybe, maybe. But let's go back to the I'm like watching the time, manage categories because time goes so quickly on these streams. So here's what I'm gonna do. Again, I love taking pictures just so it has that context. And I want to say the custom category colors are not updating. When I change the color, I get a message that it's saved. But alas, it is not. Oh, I shouldn't type that, but it is not. But the color was not changed. Can you look into this? Make sure I'm on agent mode. Boop. So one thing to know is when you have instructions, it's always going to reference the instructions here. So it's using the instructions and that screenshot as context. So let me minimize this a little. And you can see like it's reading right here. It went through the code and it's reading like manage categories, read all the lines, and then it's going to check the update color hook that I'm using. Then it read through the links.tsx. So you see that before it started implementing any change at all, it went through and did and read the files that related to the issue I'm having, which I like. Now it's going to go through and search for related items as well. And then it say, okay, let me check the current implementation issue. And then it says, I found several issues and now it's going to fix it. So before it starts to just, it doesn't just go in, Copilot doesn't just go in and start coding. It actually goes through and read through your code to find relevant files that needs to be updated before implementing the change. Ask Claude, I did. Cool. So while that's going, if you don't follow me on LinkedIn, you should because I've been having a lot of fun doing these 60-second builds with Copilot. So most recently, I think I did Twitter. So Copilot was able to give me like the MVP details of the Twitter app. And then I said, build this. And it literally did it. And like it actual build time, it was 8 minutes yesterday, but it was actually so good. It was actually so good. So I think I'm going to keep doing that where I'm just going to build some apps in 60 seconds with Copilot, just like a one shot prompting type thing to see if it does it because it's been doing amazingly. I did Spotify, I did Spotify, I did Twitter, and what was the other one I did? I think I did Slack as well, and they all came out beautifully. Maybe I could do one here. What's the next one that I should do? Let me know what popular app I should try to replicate. Okay, so it's updating this use link hook. Let's see what it's done so far. Let's go. Okay. So the issues are in managed categories, the custom category section is using colors.background instead of display color background. Okay. There's a missing async storage persistence. Okay. And then the color migration might not be working correctly. Okay. Database schema is correct. Let's see. Now let me also add some debug into the color loading function. Let me check if there are any errors. Let me let me add a debug test button right after search bar. Cool. So there was quite a few issues why the colors weren't updating. Test database. Okay. Well, look, that color changed from purple. So I think it's working. Yes, continue. Amazon Music. What is Amazon Music? Amazon had a music? I didn't know that. So here I can do a new window and I'll do Amazon Music once Copilot is done. Because honestly, it goes so quickly. And even though like 5 or 7 to 8 minutes feels like a long time, it's actually not. It's actually not that long. So what else are you doing? Let me also check my issue with the color modal. The moment issue. Girl, you are doing a lot here. You see, this is why I always say like you always have to make sure you're saving and committing. Yep. So it looks like it did fix the initial issue. Let me try like an orange or so. Yep. So it looks like the issue is resolved, but it's still going. This is why I say all the time, stage and commit. Every time you make a change when you're working with the AI agent, always use Git and always stage and commit because sometimes agents love to do things that you didn't necessarily ask them to do. But I'm just going to hit keep because I'm just vibe coding. Test data connection database, check color update, verify state updates, check persistence. It actually did quite a bit. Fix display bug and manage categories, enhance the color persistence, improve color loading strategy, added comprehensive debugging. Yeah, so true or not. Okay, so I want to remove this test database now because everything's working. Yep, everything's working. So let me tell it to everything works. Remove the test database. Okay. Amazon Music is a good idea. 10 minutes was long when I was a kid. I know, but could you rebuild like the MVP of Amazon Music in 10 minutes though? That's the thing. That's the thing. It's really not long. Cool. Indeed. I know it was able to quickly resolve the issue. All right, so it's removing that test database function. That's also a bug I need to look into because every time I load the app, it gives me the onboarding flow, which I don't want. Let me see if I can add a new link to the app just to make sure that everything is still working properly. So I'm going to add this URL. I'm going to do like review Copilot PR. Remember to do this. I'm just going to use apps, save link. There we go. It still works, right? It still works. That's exciting. So it's still doing some cleanup. But I can mark off custom category colors not updating. Imagine if you could go through your backlog like this, you just have a list of issues that you need to comb through And because GitHub Copilot is going to follow the standards in your code in your repository, you can essentially just go through down the line one by one of fixing the issues in your code base. One thing I need to do is add usage analytics to understand user patterns. I was thinking of using PostHog because I've been seeing it around the web. Have you used PostHog? What's your experience with it if you have? Logo. Yes, yes. It did grab the logo from that Bento site, if you notice, Bento, but it didn't grab it from my website. So I don't know. Maybe there's an issue with my website, but as you should. Have not used PostHog, but heard positive things around it. Yeah, same, same. I've been hearing very good things about PostHog, which is why I want to give it a go. Hi from Pakistan. Hey, thanks for joining. Let's see. I don't see any more questions. Okay, yeah. So, I mean, what do you think about agent mode? It's pretty great, right? I'm pretty much hacking through these changes pretty quickly. And of course, I can do this. I can do something like boop, and I think I can do like I can get a review here with Copilot. So the delete function is missing a JS doc comment. I don't want that. I don't want that. After deleting a link, the local state is updated, but there is no refetch from Superbase. Ooh, that's a great comment. If another client modifies the data, local state may become stale. Consider reloading links after deletion for better sync. You see, this is actually a really good review. Um, actually. Actually. So if I do apply and go next, I think it will apply. Yep, right here. So it's going to refetch from Superbase. Great. The error message in the catch block is generic. Include the link ID in the log for easier debugging. Eh. The return type of delete link is a Boolean, but other delete functions return an object with success and error. Consider standardizing the return type for consistency across your API. These review comments are pretty legit, I think. So you can also get reviews right in your terminal, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, probably worth checking out since the GA4 change. Agent mode is great. Thanks for showing it. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to check out PostHog. That's really good. Like a resync after any update deletes additions. Yes, I know that was a very good call out, especially for me just vibing. That was a very good call out. um, but cool. I think that's all for today. There was something else where I know the default categories array is duplicated across the code base, and I would love to move it to a shared cons file to maintain consistency in the app. And I did love your idea of allowing users to change the theme in the application. I think that is a really good idea. But for now, I think that's it for Quibbit, guys. So So I do love that Copilot does commit messages, but look how long this commit message is. Would you ever write such a long commit message? Not me. You know, it's like fix it. Finally works. Yay. You know what I'm saying? But these commit messages have come in so handy whenever I'm trying to manually go into the code base and figure out why something isn't working. Which is why I always say, you know, stage and commit. All right. So if I can reload the app. And that's Quibbit. I like it. I like I like where it's going. I think I will implement a card and list view on the homepage as well. That way I could just, quickly scroll through the list, even though I don't need to. But I think I would like that. The recording functionality, I do need to redo this with Copilot Coding Agent. Because there's just something crazy going on. So like what's going on with the build currently is whenever I record a voice note, it saves it, but it's like re-rendering too quickly, so it's not showing the saved recording. And we haven't been able to figure it out. So I think it's how it was built initially. And I don't want to spend too much time figuring out, you know, what's going on. So I think I'm just going to restart it and I'm going to do it slower. So first I'm going to say, okay, can you create the UI? No like logic. And then, I'm going to go ahead and implement the logic step by step. I think that's the best way to do it anyway. I knew better. Okay. Will you push this to the Play Store? That's the goal. Would you use it, Akash? Would you use it? Because if I'm going to push this to the Play Store for people to use, I was just building this for myself. But if I'm building it for others to use, I need to think about scalability and I need to think about, security. I need to think about a lot more things if this is something that you want to use. But the repository is available for you to clone. If it's free, sure, of course, of course. If it's free, of course, if it's free, you would use it. But the thing is, software is not free to maintain, Akash. You know what I mean? But you can always go ahead and clone the repository and set up your own Supabase instance and go forth and use it. You know? Okay, we have 2 minutes left in the stream. Should I try to do the Apple, what was it? Apple Music? Amazon Music? Mm, it's risque, but let's see. I'll show you how I do it. So I stopped the server. Let me close this. Let's open this up. And if you notice, there's like nothing here. So I need a new folder. I'm just going to create one in the terminal so I don't have to open up my my Finder here. Let's zoom. I don't like when I zoom in the terminal, it just zooms everything. So let's go into documents and I think it's projects. Projects, and I think I called the folder MVPs. Nope. Okay. Well, let's just create a new one. And you want me to do AMAZEN. I'm going to call it Amazon Music. Amazon Music. That way, copyright and all. And let's open this up in VS Code. Okay, so all I have is just a folder called Amazon Music. I have my terminal here, and I have agent mode. Nothing else here. So what I typically do is make sure I'm in agent mode, and then I come in here and I say, can you describe, let me zoom in a bit more. There we go. Can you describe Amazon Music in simple MVP terms, no auth, just core features? Juan says, I'm from Colombia, Spanish native speaker, but I'm so glad to get every single word you're saying. It's so cool how I extend my knowledge with this content. Yay, I'm so happy. That's good. I'm happy that you can understand. So once I send that prompt here, it's going to go ahead and say, I'll describe Amazon Music. And then it says, here are the core features: music catalog, audio playback, queue management, playlist features, music player interface, and browser recommendation, right? Front end, back end, track, audio. The MVP focus on is da da da. So I can say, I typically just say build this and just see what happens. If it works, I am literally amazed. And if it doesn't, I just try again. But you're gonna see some folder like files pop up over here. So now it's using Vite. It's gonna go into the terminal, do some stuff. Yep, there we go. Yes, proceed. That's what I was waiting on. There we go. Boop. Right. And now it's going to install all the things. So you do need to pay attention because sometimes you need to hit continue or you need to hit yes in the terminal, just like you would whenever you're installing something. One time I wasn't paying attention and like Copilot had to create the folders one by one. And it was like, something is going on. Let me do it one by one. And I was like, that was my bad. But if you notice, it created an instructions file here using the MVP details. So project guidelines, core features, tech stack. I think that's incredible. And so now it's going to go ahead and create the mock data for the music catalog. Here we go. So it has a few interfaces: track, playlist, album, artist, queue item, player state. Isn't this insane? I know. I know. I know. It's actually really, really good. So imagine if you want to build a product and you fully laid out your spec, right? You create your instructions file or your prompt file for the LLM and you fully lay out your MVP in a document. You can just copy that document, pop it into Copilot agent mode, and just have it build it out for you. And then if you don't know how to do a design, you can have Claude do an initial design or, look for an app that you really like and, say, hey, this is the vibe I want. This is the vibe of the app I'm going for, and go forth and build your MVP and launch it into the world. Literally, people are making so much money from building apps with vibe coding and AI. We have the knowledge, but I think because we know too much, it holds us back. But I think we need to do what the engineer from Anthropic said and just give into the vibes. Okay, let's see what else it's done. I see we have the player context now. We have the player hook. Wow. Like it's doing the whole thing. It's doing the whole thing, which is incredible to me. Okay. So there was a dependency array issue that it fixed here. And then it did the player context here, right? It did some refactoring of the player context to remove the dependency issue. Give into the vibes. That's what he said. I think is Andrew. I forget his name. Hold on. Let me look it up because let me see. Vibe coding Anthropic. Or maybe I should do like vibe coding and see. Right here. So is it Andre? Is that how you say it? Andre Karpathy. He's the one that said this was his tweet earlier this year, just to give into the vibes of coding. And so that's vibe coding. And so this tweet really pushed vibe coding into the general populace and it became so popular. But let's go back to the code. Let's see what Copilot's doing, Let's see. Because we know too much, it holds us back. Facts. It's so true. But you have helped me move past this blocker. Yes, that's so good, Jacoya. Because I'm trying myself to just lean into the vibes because I keep reading stories after stories after stories of people making hundreds of thousands of dollars in the wild. Like the latest story I read while Copilot is working, the latest story I read was this this young guy, he's not an engineer, but he was building a mobile app with vibe coding, and he realized like, whoa, I need to design my app. I don't know how to design. And he was like, woo, he noticed that this was an issue that people were complaining about on Reddit. And so he built an app that helps you to design your mobile app with vibe coding. The app has been around for 4 months. Guess how much he's earned? $17,000. You don't need to guess. $17,000 per month. Okay. It's not like a one time 17, it's monthly recurring revenue, or MRR, like the business folks say. And so I'm like, oh, I need to build something too. This is cool. I didn't know Copilot could vibe code like this. Yes. Copilot is the OG vibe coder. Okay. Like, it's the original. It's not a fork, it's not a clone, it's the original. It's the original. Oop, what's going on? Okay. So don't let knowing too much hold you back. Go forth and build. Make sure you validate your idea. Make sure you do some research, and you can do deep research using Claude or ChatGPT, right? So that you can validate your idea to see if it's even a viable product that people want. And it can scrape Reddit, it can scrape social media. You know what I'm saying? Create your MVP, post about it on the socials, and get some users. You know what I'm saying? You work for GitHub? Yes, this is a GitHub official stream. I'm Kadesha. Nice to meet you, Joy. Copilot is indeed very helpful. I agree. I love Copilot so much. What a time we are living in. I know. It's crazy. The stories I read are crazy. Another crazy story I read while Copilot's working is, so you know, a timer app, literally 10, 9, 8, 7, a timer app. So he's an engineer. So, but this software developer built a timer app that now earns like $25,000 per month because he marketed this timer app towards production companies. So you know, like whenever you do a big talk, like a keynote or a TED talk, you have a timer on the bottom that tells you how much time you have to speak on stage. And so he marketed the timer app to these companies, and they loved it because they were doing it manually, that they would have on paper like 10 minutes left, 5 minutes left. But with the app, they were able to like send messages to the person on stage and all that jazz. A timer app. You know, those apps that we call, oh, that's just the beginner app. Mm-mm. If you find the right market, you can go forth and build. Anyway, let me get off my soapbox because I'm very excited about the time that we're in. Okay, Copilot, how long has it been working? It seems like the Amazon Music is a really big app. How long have we been going? I don't know. But it's like 2:09. I need to hop off soon because I know the other stream starts at 2:15. Let's see if it will be done. What a time we're living in. I know. Oh, you have love to connect with you. Do you mind sharing your socials in the chat? Of course. Yeah. So it's that lady Dev. I'm everywhere at it's that lady Dev, and you can find me on LinkedIn at Kadesha Kerr. Let me see if I go to my blog, I can get my links. Hold on. I think it's /my links. And then I'll pop it out in the chat. Here are all my links. You have great energy. Oh, thank you. Okay, so it's updating the README, which means it's almost done. But wow, would you look at all this, right? We have hooks, we have types, it has a search functionality, we have pages, we have data, you know, mock data, we have contacts, we have components. Look at all this. In just a few minutes, Copilot was able to do this. And so now it's going to let me create a README file by replacing the entire content. Why? Oh, it's going to replace the initial content and create a new one. Okay. Okay, hurry up. I want to see the product. And it's crazy. I'm saying hurry up, but it's been going pretty quickly. Send a connect on LinkedIn. Hey, I will look at your. I have so many LinkedIn connection requests, so I need to go through them. All right. Keep. So it looks like it's gonna try to run the app now. Yeah, it's running. It's running. Ooh. Okay, I hope it works. Let's see. Now it's gonna test the build to make sure that there are no errors. Let's see. So this is trying to build Amazon Music, okay? Amazon. No copyright infringement. Now let's create a library component to complete the basic. Sir, I thought you were done. Oh my goodness. Oh, there are some errors here. Hold on. I don't know if we're gonna be finished. Maybe I'm gonna have to put this in a video. Yeah, see, errors. Oh, this crypto hash one. I've seen this error before. Alrighty. It's 213. Hold on, let me see something. Oh, okay. I thought there was another stream after this, but there isn't. So I'm just gonna let this run. If you have to go, thanks for joining. I'd love for you to stay to see if we actually get this running. But this has been Rubber Duck Thursdays. I really want to see if Amazon is built. So let's see. Let's see. I gave Copilot a run for its money. I know, but you know, it's still going. So let's see. Let's see. Me too. I have time. Like I really want to see what's gonna happen. And see, there's still this error right here. Around 25 errors. Copilot, there are errors. What do you mean there are no errors? Uh, um, um, let's see. Look how detailed this README is. So there's no reason for you to have empty READMEs anymore, guys. I mean, let's see. I don't even know if it's gonna run. Nope, it's not gonna run. Let's try to debug it. I'm just gonna send this to Copilot. Actually, this is a lot. Let me just do this. Definitely gave Copilot a run for its money, but let's see, let's see. I can see the error. Crypto hash is not a function. This is a common issue with Vite and Node.js. Yes, I remember this error. I do remember that error. I have Node version 20 though. Oh, Copilot, check the version. So it's removing the node modules and removing the package lock JSON, which is exactly what I would have done. When GPT came out, I crashed it multiple times coding. Yup. I love coding with LLMs though. It's just so fun because I feel like I can think more about, oh, how do I want this to function? What do I want this to do? Instead of being stuck in in the bugs. Ugh, that used to be the worst part of building for me, the bugs. Because sometimes, you fix the one bug, but then you create like five other bugs. Which now with LLMs, you fix one bug, you create like 10 other bugs. So tomato, 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 tomato. I know you have a simple browser, so can you open this in simple browser? Like there's a browser that it has in VS Code that it sometimes open the project in for me. So let's see. There we go. Right here. Look at the big error message. But that's okay. This is coding. Resolve import player context from source hook use player. Does the file exist? Oh. Oh. Okay, so Copilot is working on that. The import path is wrong. I see the issue. I love the enthusiasm of Copilot sometimes. I see the issue. I see it. Now the app should load correctly. Let's see. Mm, doesn't look like it. Oh, this opened up on a different page. Let's put it here. What's the console saying? Mm-mm. Listen, I don't know if Amazon's gonna work. That's crazy. It is a big one. It did have a lot in the MVPs. Let's see. I'm so determined to do this. I see that y'all are still here, so you're in it with me too, huh? Good. Okay. Hmm. Let's see. I don't know if it's completed successfully. Copilot, let's see. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it did. That's not what I wanted to do. Oh, it's the same error. Listen, I'm losing hope. So I'm gonna use a different model. Let's see. Gotta stay till the end. Really curious how it turns out with a web app. Building things this big have been quite challenges on Android for me. Yeah, yeah. It's worked before with wait, hold on. Yes. You see, I noticed with some models will ask you questions like, "Do you want me to do this for you?" And then some models will just go ahead and do. I think that's why I often use Claude because Claude just go ahead and do. And I noticed that 4.1 usually asks me if I want to do something. But same, yeah. I've done quite a few of these MVP challenges with Copilot, and we do have to like go for a while, but this one is definitely the longest that I've been waiting. But I gotta see it through. I gotta see it through. Now I gotta see it through. Let's see this error message. Okay. Okay. Where did the browser go? There it is. Look. Do you see what I see? Is this what Amazon Music look like? I actually don't know. Um, but here is the MVP. So there is search. Let me see. I can search for stuff, right? Which is great. There's hip hop, but there's nothing there. There's the library made by Amazon Music. Like songs. So if I like a song, will it show up? Let's see. I don't think it's gonna play because it doesn't actually have music. Like so okay, home. Okay, it doesn't have like song functionality yet, but this is a pretty good MVP, wouldn't you say? So it took what, like, wow, it's been 24 minutes at least. So this took the longest. The other ones I've done have taken at most 8 minutes. But how cool is that? Like you can build your MVPs pretty quickly, even though it's been 30 minutes. It's still pretty quickly. How many days, weeks does it take to build an MVP? But you can build it pretty quickly using agent mode by your side, especially if you have everything fully scoped out. It does very well when everything is fully scoped out step by step. You will get the best results. And if there's an error, never fear, just keep iterating and it will resolve it. So let's see what the browser is looking like. Oh, it's not 5174. I think it's 3000. Yeah, it looks pretty legit. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. I don't see anybody applauding, so I'm gonna applaud myself. um, can you push the can you push this repo? I'll branch on my own GitHub. You mean the Amazon repo? I can push the Amazon repo. I'll push it later and I'll send it to you on LinkedIn. Or you can look out for it on my GitHub. But this has been Rubber Duck Thursdays. Thank y'all for joining. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream. I certainly had a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun with agent mode and we just built this MVP of Amazon Music in about 25 minutes, which is pretty excellent. pretty excellent. So if you ever want to do something like that, build out your own MVP apps, make sure you have everything fully laid out and choose your tech stack and everything, and then go in and have fun. Have fun with coding, folks. Have fun with coding. It's so fun to build these days. You know what I'm saying? Hey, hey. Well, I'm going to close out right now, and I'll see you next week. This has been Rub It Up Thursday. Bye.